Welcome to episode 26 of the 5-Minute Investor Podcast, where Stockhouse columnists Jonathan Brown and me, Trevor Abes, each deliver a 2.5-minute stock profile related to recent news stories with investment implications. This week, we're talking about Canadian-listed small-cap banking stocks whose underlying operations are profitable and growing, creating value despite the dominance of Canada's Big Six banks. John, which financial institution should Canadian investors consider besides the normal household names?
Trevor, in the shadow of Canada's Big Six banks, a smaller, determined contender is carving its own path, Laurentian Bank of Canada. It trades in the TSX under the symbol LB. Founded in Montreal nearly 2 centuries ago, Laurentian Bank has long served Canadians with a focus on traditional banking, but today the company wants to evolve, leaning digital. Under its new initiative, Laurentian is investing heavily in technology, streamlining operations, enhancing customers' experience, and expanding its self-serve capabilities. Its partnership with Fintech firm ThirdStream is out to enable seamless digital onboarding, bringing modern banking to its customers. On Friday, the bank reported modest earnings growth in Q3 2025, driven by higher net interest income and lower credit losses, despite a decline in overall revenue and adjusted profitability. With a market cap of around 1.3 billion Canadian dollars and a dividend yield of 6%, Laurentian Bank looks on paper to be a stable value play. The stock trades around 30 bucks Canadian and is up 4% since the year began and is 17% higher compared to this time last year. Laurentian Bank, TSX ticker LB. It's not just surviving, it's competing, even as analysts speculate on its potential as a takeover target by larger institutions. Now, Trevor, you have another solid contender to talk about?
Yeah, John, a Canadian small-cap banking stock that I think worthy of a deep dive is VersaBank, a bank federally chartered in both Canada and the U.S., creating value in underserved markets through a branchless, digital business-to-business model. The small-cap bank benefits from low operating costs thanks to sourcing deposits and processing most of its funding through intermediaries, as well as superior credit risk assessment, with no material losses over more than 30 years in business, all of which has allowed the company the freedom to pursue growth initiatives on its own terms, delivering solid financial results over the past 5 years. Revenue grew from 86.09 million Canadian in fiscal 2020 to 285.42 million in fiscal 2024, with net income growing from 19.41 million to 39.75 million, complemented by strong showings in Q1 and Q2 2025, despite a tense macroeconomic environment. VersaBank's most important growth initiative is the U.S. expansion of its receivables purchase program, a funding solution for point-of-sale finance companies with $3.5 billion in assets to date, up from $1 billion in 2019, and 15 years of success in Canada to guide the way. The company hopes to break into what it estimates to be a multi-trillion-dollar U.S. market by focusing on underserved segments, taking advantage of its ability to process smaller loans at high volume for small business clients. Management expects the program to post continued growth through fiscal year end with a target contribution of $290 million US. VersaBank is also actively competing with stablecoins through its digital deposit receipts technology, recently becoming the first licensed U.S. bank to issue deposits tokenized on the blockchain. The small-cap bank is also fostering shareholder value from a regulatory perspective, putting a plan in motion to realign its corporate structure with U.S. bank standards, opening itself to a broader array of global investment markets, and potential inclusion in strategic indices, including the Russell 2000. With numerous catalysts on the horizon and cash-generating operations to fund them into fruition, VersaBank offers a high-conviction value proposition well worth crunching numbers on, validating the presence of compelling investment opportunities for those willing to veer from the herd, look past Canada's Big Six banks, and source attractive income statements farther down the market cap spectrum. As always, you can find links to the articles from today's episode in the show notes, and you can find more investing insights on Stockhouse and the market online. The 5-Minute Investor is on Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stockhouse, or wherever finer podcasts are found. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on Monday. This podcast has been prepared as part of a partnership with Laurentian Bank and VersaBank and is intended for informational purposes only. For full disclaimer information, please visit themarketonline.ca/disclaimer.